Welcome to the Constitutional Court. In this building, 7 judges administer justice, verifying whether legal acts of the state comply with the basic law of our state, the Satversme, otherwise known as the Constitution of the Republic of Latvia. The rulings adopted by the judges affect every inhabitant of Latvia. The Constitutional Court was established on the 9th of December 1996. The Constitutional Court is an independent judicial institution. It reviews cases with respect to the compliance of laws and other legal acts, including regulations of the Cabinet of Ministers and local governments with the Satversme. The administration of justice at the Constitutional Court differs from other courts of Latvia because the Constitutional Court has the right to declare laws and other legal acts or their parts to be void. A strong and independent Constitutional Court is a crucial element in strengthening Latvia as a democratic state based on the rule of law. An essential mission of the court is to ensure a legal balance between the rights of a person and the interests of the society. In addition to administration of justice, the court also promotes an active dialogue with courts on the international and the national level, and also engages in a dialogue with the society about the values of the Satversme. The Constitutional Court is situated in Riga at number 1 Jura Alunāna Street. The building was constructed in 1872 as a residential house. It was designed by the architect Friedrich Wilhelm Hess. The building belonged to the family of Karl von Boetica. The family's coat of arms decorates the building's facade. During the years of the Soviet occupation, the building was nationalized, but following the restoration of Latvia's independence, it became the property of the state. It is an architectural monument of local significance, situated within the territory of the historic centre of Riga. The Constitutional Court has been located in this building since 1998. The court is a contemporary and visitor-friendly institution. In the lobby, information about the court is available. A touchscreen allows for a fast and convenient search for answers to relevant questions about the court's work and latest developments. The Chancery has an important role in ensuring the court's functions are fulfilled, since it organizes the circulation of the court's internal and external documents. Every day, the Chancery receives and registers dispatches addressed to the court, applications and other correspondence, including email letters. On average, 4,000 documents are processed annually. The staff of the Chancery also receive visitors and take phone calls. A reproduction of the first edition of the Satversme is displayed in the court's building. The Constitutional Court safeguards the Satversme. It explains in its rulings the content of the articles of our basic law and reveals the values included in it. In daily life, this reproduction reminds the judges, the staff of the court, and visitors of the important role of the Satversme in the development of Latvia as a democratic state governed by the rule of law. The Constitutional Court is comprised of 7 judges. The candidates for this office are proposed by all 3 branches of the state power. Specifically, 3 candidates for the office of a judge of the Constitutional Court are proposed by the Saeima, otherwise known as the Parliament, representing the legislative power. 2 candidates are proposed by the Cabinet of Ministers, representing the executive power, and 2 more are proposed by the plenary session of the Supreme Court, representing the judicial power. The candidates for the judge's office must be at least 40 years old, with a degree in law and at least 10 years' work experience in the area of law. Judges of the Constitutional Court are appointed to the office for a term of 10 years by the Saeima. The President and the Vice President of the Constitutional Court are elected for a term of 3 years by the judges of the Constitutional Court from among themselves. The President of the Constitutional Court chairs the hearings, organizes the court's work, and represents the Constitutional Court. In Latvia, the President of the Constitutional Court and the Chief Judge of the Supreme Court are the highest officials of the judicial power. The Constitutional Court reviews cases in written procedure or in public hearings. The hearings take place in the courtroom, and the parties to cases and other persons involved in the case participate in them. Public court hearings may be attended by anyone who is interested. In this hall, the judges of the Constitutional Court take their seats in a certain order, in accordance with the principle of seniority, with the court's president in the center. Usually, the reporting judge who has prepared the case for adjudication sits to the left of the president of the court. The symbols of the state of Latvia, the coat of arms and the flag are also displayed in the courtroom. The procedure of the Constitutional Court envisages that the persons present show their respect to the judges by standing up when judges are entering or exiting the courtroom. The judgments delivered by the Constitutional Court are final. The interpretation of legal norms contained in judgments and decisions of the court is mandatory for all state and local government authorities, courts, as well as private individuals. Until now, the Constitutional Court has examined on average 20 to 25 cases annually. However, the number of cases initiated by the court has been growing in recent years. It is important to add that it is not mandatory for the court proceedings to take place in this room. In emergency situations, the court may use modern technologies and hold hearings remotely, for example, from the conference hall of the court. Since 2019, the Constitutional Court starts its work year in January by holding a solemn hearing with the participation of representatives from all the branches of power. In the judges' deliberations room, all rulings made by the court in a full composition are prepared. The issues discussed and opinions expressed in this room constitute the secret of the court's deliberations. The judges spend the greatest part of their time in their offices, working with case files and draft rulings, conducting in-depth analysis of various legal issues, discussing these with other judges, their assistants, and the advisors of the court. Although the judges are the most visible and known part of the Constitutional Court's team, 48 other employees work in this building, each of them performing certain tasks that are significant for ensuring effective operations. The judges' assistants and the advisors of the court work at the Constitutional Court. The court's administration provides important support. The administration consists of the legal department, the court's chancery, the Department of Human Resources, the Department of Public Relations and Protocol, the accountancy department, as well as the maintenance department, the employees of which take care of the work environment at the Constitutional Court. Since 2020, each judge of the Constitutional Court has 2 assistants who work in offices like this one. Following the judge's instructions, the assistant researches legal issues that are important for the adjudication of the case, works with the case materials, collects the information necessary for deciding the case, discusses with the judge the most important legal issues in the case, and also, in accordance with the judge's instructions, prepares drafts of rulings of the court. This is an office of an advisor of the Constitutional Court. The legal department of the Constitutional Court consists of advisors who provide legal assistance to judges and their assistants. They also are in charge of systematizing of the rulings of the Constitutional Court. The advisors study the case law and practice of Latvian and foreign courts, as well as international institutions in certain legal matters, and also prepare methodological materials. Official visits are held, solemn occasions are celebrated, and local and foreign delegations are usually welcomed in the fireplace hall. The photos of all the current and former judges of the Constitutional Court are displayed here. The diplomatic presents received by the Constitutional Court are also exhibited in the fireplace hall. The work of the Constitutional Court does not end with hearing cases and delivering a ruling. One of the aims of the Constitutional Court is to promote dialogue with other institutions and to raise public awareness. A conference hall has been set up in the building of the Constitutional Court, and there various informative events are held, seminars, lectures, and discussions. The Constitutional Court is always prepared to inform representatives of mass media and the public about its work, which is why press conferences are also held in the conference hall. The hall is equipped with technologies that permit a remote communication with colleagues both in Latvia and abroad. The library is an indispensable element of the Constitutional Court's work, as it provides the judges and employees of the Constitutional Court with the required informative resources. The library's collection holds approximately 2,300 books, legal literature of various branches of law, as well as other branches of science, politics, history, economics, culture, and philosophy. The Constitutional Court is an accommodating institution, and upon request, it can ensure access to the library resources also to other persons who need it for their study process, daily work, or research. The archive plays an important role in the court. It holds all documents of the Constitutional Court from the establishment of the court until today. The materials of the reviewed cases and documents related to the court's basic activities are stored in the archive. Many documents ought to be stored in perpetuity. These documents, in accordance with the criteria for archival value, have been granted historical, social, scientific, and cultural significance. The Constitutional Court's archive is used for scientific research and for ensuring the work of the judges and employees of the Constitutional Court. On the basis of a reasoned application, anyone can study the case materials placed in the archive. The Satversme confirms the idea of the Latvian state. It comprises the shared values of the Latvian people and a vision of the future. The Constitutional Court is the guardian of the Satversme, defending the fundamental values and freedoms of all inhabitants of Latvia. To find out more about the Constitutional Court, please visit the homepage of the Constitutional Court, the Court's YouTube channel and Twitter account.